The first thing I ever did writing blog content for somebody else's business. They would give me the details and then I would go and write it all. This person also had a format of how they like their blogs written, and you can find these things online to make it really SEO positive. And that's what I would do. I think it was a couple blogs every week. I think I charged $50 a blog post. So not a crazy amount, but if you think about it, if I wrote 4 in a week, that's $200. So in a month, I was making around $800, which when you're a stay-at-home mom, that money goes a long way. The problem with it is that I would never consider myself a writer. The only type of writing I like doing is when it's my own voice, my own words, and that's why I have the blog on my website, because I just write, I don't think about it. I'm also not concerned that it's in somebody else's voice. I can do it, but it takes so much brain power for me to get there. The caveat to this is that was probably 5 years ago, where now with the power of AI, you can generate blogs so easy and you can write them in a way that is the tone and voice of people you're writing them for. Instead of taking an hour to write a blog post, you can do this whole process in probably 10 minutes. So think of how many blogs you could get out for somebody in really not a lot of time. Would I go back to it? Probably not, because of the business I have now, but it was a great place to start to get those creative juices. And even then, having to set up, like, learn how to send invoices, learn how to, price my services. It was a great starting place. And I mean, I knew how to write, so I knew I was capable of doing it. The second thing that I did was I fell into becoming a social media manager for Instagram and Facebook. This was before other platforms existed. The big ones were Facebook and Instagram. And this is when I knew I wanted to start my digital marketing agency or company. And I went into a local small business Facebook group, and somebody was looking for help. And I sent her a message and said, I can do this. I didn't have a website, I didn't have anything set up. Once she was like, yeah, do you have packages? So I went into Canva and I made a package right then and there and made up my own branding, and I sent it to her, and we met for a coffee, and she said yes. And I started at $250 a month to post 3 posts a week-ish. I would, go in once a month, create all the posts, schedule them all. It maybe took me probably an hour a week at the very, very, very most. Then I was done work for the week, and I, made $250. When you think of like my hourly wage on that, I was actually making like pretty good hourly wage for what I was doing. And my background in it was, I just said I had my own company, my juice shop. That's what she hired me based on. I think I created a mock-up for her to show her how I envisioned her feed looking. And that's what it works. So if you don't have any experience as a social media manager, you can show businesses, this is how I would do your content. These are the pillars that I would talk on. You don't need a ton of experience for people to buy in with you. And also $250 is like crazy cheap for a social media manager, where now I charge over $2,000, but I have years now of experience of doing it. So you can always start somewhere, right? So I actually highly recommend being a social media manager, because you can batch content, create it all, schedule it all, and it's not daily work. And you can do that at any time of the day that works for you. Once I was doing that, I realized I wanted to have a website. Like, I was gonna make a real go of this. And I had previously built websites for the juice shop. So I had some experience with Squarespace, Shopify, a little bit of Wix experience. And I somehow, I don't even know how I came across it, but a woman had a business teaching people how to do what she called a VIP day, where you would build somebody's website in a day. And I loved this idea, because I had started building websites for people, and I had built my own website. And so I had offered, even the social media management client I had before, I rebuilt her website for her. That's the other thing, is once you start getting clients, you start to find more work you can do for them. And I really enjoyed it. I love the creative process of it, of deciding how things looked. And that's something I always loved doing. So anyways, I got into this program of how to do it in a day. And I love this because then I could, book my day, get the kids in daycare, get childcare for that day, and sit down and just crush out a website. Sometimes it would take like a day and a half. That's all I did. And it was great because it's a high ticket. You can charge quite a bit for a website because it is a lot of work. You can really customize packages, add on a lot of different things. Maybe it's more pages, less pages. And I did that for quite a few months. And I would say, I think the first website I did, I charged $700 maybe something dollars for that. The last website I just charged upwards of $4,000. There's a wide scope that you can charge for websites based on what you're building for people. And the cool thing is, especially if you use a platform like Squarespace or Shopify, there's like a bajillion tutorials online if you want to figure out how to do things.